Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming out. We had two previous meetings where we talked about how do you sell the initiative. And a lot of people had different ideas, and there was a lot of different ideas on how you could approach the public and sell the initiative. They may say this, and what do you say to that? How do you convince somebody to do this? And so I'd encourage everybody to look at the previous two conferences. Daniel Costa did a great job moderating those. A lot of information, but it's digestible. So you have two of those good conversations and see what the thought. Today's a little bit different. Today is the initiatives coming, and we need to start zeroing down into what do we think are the top selling points. So I spent 2 hours with Dan yesterday. Dan is going to lead us on an excellent journey today. He really has thought through where we need to be, how we need to be thinking, what we should be doing, and how to conceptualize this whole thing. So I'm going to unleash him in a second here, and he's going to walk us through this. He has a really good sales idea about how to do this. I want to encourage everybody to be nice. We're going to have some consensus on our talking points. No, I don't think we're going to pick the line that we all say, but I do think we should get down to 2 or 3 things that we all agree we can live with everyone saying. Okay, so we need to have some sort of consensus. No, I don't think we're going to get, we all say this and that's what let's get it down to 2 or 3, okay? I think we can live with that. That's what Dan's going to work us through. He's going to do an intro. We're going to do practice for about 30 minutes. Then we're going to stop and take a break for everybody's sanity. And it's going to go to Hal Lohr to talk for 10 minutes about an update on IC. And then it's going to go to Jason Wright to talk about an idea on how to sell the initiative for 10 minutes. And then Sue is going to talk about Cali Camp Scadia. I'm not saying that right. And then Hannah's going to talk about the Election Integrity Project. So bear with us for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to get to speeches. I do want to say thank you to Hannah Miyamoto. She found out that this week the California government said that the initiative is going to be released on September 3 days before 9/11. So the California government decided to release the initiative basically right before 9/11, or as some people have told me, America Day. So Super Patriot Day, our initiative on seceding comes out right before. What a coincidence, right? Can't prove anything. They could say, oh, just happenstance, coincidence. But I will point out that our previous CalExit initiative was released on 4/20. So this is the second interesting holiday that a CalExit initiative just coincidentally happened to land on, and no coordination from the California government. They have no opinions on this. They just happen to keep dropping these things on major holidays. Okay, who knows what that means? I'll leave it there. We've been given an additional 3 weeks. I know there was some hiccups, but I've been talking with everybody. You guys won a battle, and I want to make this very clear. We didn't have our house in order in 2017. We didn't. There was infighting between different organizations, and the moment it got real and we dumped 40,000 people, guess what happened? We had a group that was like this. We didn't deal with long-standing conflicts. You dumped gasoline on that. I've talked to Hal extensively, and I believe him. That's never going to happen now. Whatever IC went through, it's done. It's over. So we're moving forward. There's not going to be ruptures. And I got to tell you, we're going to be dumping a fuck ton of people on you. And you're not going to have the problem we had in 2017. So whatever you went through was goddamn worth it. It was. Sorry for the cursing, but it was worth it. Now, good thing. The universe or the California government, whichever one you want, magically just gave us 4 weeks. So it's like we lost nothing. I had no idea that was going to happen. No one could have predicted that. We found out 2 days ago when Hannah told me. Here's the thing, and Dan taught me this. Yes, we were given a reprieve. We can't let our foot off that gas pedal 1 centimeter. So if we keep hustling, we're going to be just fine. Any one of us stop hustling for 30 seconds between now and day, we're fucked. So we're fine as long as we keep hustling. Keep that hustle, we're going to be just fine. Any of you think we can let off the hustle? It's going to be problem time. I'm going to stop there, hand it over to Dan. Thank you all. I love you guys.
Thank you, Marcus. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Joe, I'm glad you made it. So let me go through the agenda. Well, Marcus already went through the agenda. So basically what we're going to start with is this is probably going to be our final part of the initiative and how to best do it and get everyone's, on this one, we're going to get everyone's opinion on how other people are role playing, or just give maybe a review of it. Be nice, but because there's many ways to do this. But I was talking with Marcus, and as we were brainstorming all this, I told him that it's basically what we need to do is to be salesmen, basically to see the initiative as a product. And so because we're selling somebody to come and sign, our product is a signature of the initiative. And basically in sales, and a lot of you are in sales and everything, and I've done a lot of reading on sales. But basically the first thing when you're trying to sell somebody, you go into, and we all know this, we haven't done it for a while because of COVID, but you go somewhere to buy electronics or anything, and you come and you see the salesman coming. All of us have seen it. We're going, oh man, no, not him. Not him. I don't want the sales guy. I don't want a sales pitch and everything. We all say this, but that's how people are going to see us the same way. Here comes the activist. Oh my God. You know, they're going to try to go around us, everything. So we have to catch them fast as they're passing by. And so the first thing in the sales pitch is your sales pitch, basically. So like Marcus said, we're going to come up with two sales pitches that we can use, you know, alternate with. And so basically the first step is somebody you're gonna say, are you a registered voter in California? They're gonna go yes or no. If we want, we haven't talked about this, but we could have voter registration right there or online, but that's not the topic of this. So basically they're gonna come up and you're gonna go, okay, you're a registered voter, great. Would you be interested in signing our petition? If they're patient enough, they're gonna go, what is it about? Well, it's about going forward with all the things that we've seen in, you know, in Washington that's happening, the disconnect, the divide, and everything is basically to study the viability, for example, of California becoming independent. So that's the first part of the initiative. The second is to if we get enough votes, is to build a panel of experts to study all the issues that would come with California independence. So that's your first thing. You're telling them what it's about. And they said, and you say it's very simple. There's two things. If you want, you could read it, the initiative. It takes you 5 minutes. Then what are you going to get? Of course, I'm going through different scenarios. You're going to get somebody that either, if you're very lucky, says, oh, cool, yeah, I'd love to do that. That you're okay. You've got the sale. You got lucky on that one. But most likely, people are going to come up and say what they usually say. Yeah, but what happens with this, the water? What happens with the military? What happens this? And so we were talking with Marcus. I said, we all have a different experience on knowledge and issue. And especially, this goes for Hal and his chapters, because we've all been, you know, out there and we kind of have experience. And what I refer it to with Marcus is that we have a toolbox. Each of us has a toolbox. Marcus's is full. Hannah's is got all the tools and stuff because they're very knowledgeable about issues and everything. But the new chapters and people that are less experienced are not going to have that many tools. They're not going to know all, you know, if somebody asks them a tricky question or everything, they're not going to know all that. And they shouldn't. Even signature gatherers wouldn't know that. But so how do we tell them to be comfortable with that. So like Marcus said, we could have said, oh, get knowledgeable, get house handbook, study it, know every issue, this. They're not gonna do it right away. So if we wanna get them on the street right away, then we have to tell them, you need 2 tools in your toolbox to start, right? 2 points in your, for example, water issue, you need to know what that is, or military. You can choose whatever issue you want, immigration, whatever. But you're gonna have, a couple tools to do that with. As people get more comfortable and see what people are asking them, then they're gonna add to their toolbox. They're gonna put a wrench, a drill, this and that, and you'll be able to answer more questions. But the thing we were saying with Marcus is that we don't want to get, and this is a huge point, we do not want to get into policy and the all the issues of California. We don't have time for that. We don't want to get into a debate on California, on everything that concerns it. So knowing that somebody's going to come, for example, and say, yeah, but what about the water rights and stuff? So that's it. That's in your toolbox, right? Okay, you answer that question, they go, okay. But what about this? That happens to be in your toolbox. You're lucky. You did your 2 points. After that, you, let's say they keep on going. They'll either say, okay, I sign again, the possibility, okay, that sounds good, I'll sign, or whatever. Or they'll keep on asking you questions. They're going to harass you. They're going to keep on asking questions. This is where you have to stop. This is where the sales, where you have to redirect. Basically, that's what salespeople do. They redirect when somebody's just asking question. Then you have to find some way to redirect them into this. So the person says, "What about water rights?" But you don't have that toolbox, for example. Well, your out is I could answer that very easily. I know all the issues, but this isn't what this initiative is about. It's not about the specifics of issues that concern California. It's about putting the initiative out to ask Californians if they would be interested to have a conversation about California independence. So when you sign it, it's not going to become law. It's not, if we get all the signatures and it goes on the ballot, it's not law yet. It has to go through a further process. It's just to get it that, that we know that Californians are interested, a majority, in having this conversation. Oh, okay, I see. So so you don't have any risk in signing this as far as, you're not sure about the issues and everything yet, because that's going to be a second step. So you redirect, but there's going to be the most difficult person and go, yeah, but, and you'll see those, and those are usually either people that are already against. You'll be able to gauge that, and this is where you have to make a choice. And you go, you know what? Again, this is not what this initiative is. You can go if you want more information on this. We have a website, we have a handbook, we have things that can answer those questions. But you understand, I can't spend an hour with you while I'm gathering signatures. Anybody can understand that. You go, okay, yeah, but that's never going to happen anyways. Then you go, well, this is a democracy. You're entitled to your opinion. I appreciate you giving me some time. Have a great day. Let them go. Let them go and go on to the next one, because that type of person will engage you into a non-ending discussion, and it's not productive, and they won't sign it anyways. So you're going to recognize that really quickly. And when I'm talking, obviously there's a lot of people experience with this, but I'm talking about, for the chapters, people that are less experienced in doing that, to do that. Or at the end, when you've given your points, that the initiative is not about that, this and that, it goes, so you have to close the deal. That's the sales. You've done the pitch, you've explained it, you gave a few arguments to them. Now you need to close it. And you go, so knowing that, wouldn't you be interested in at least having a conversation about California independence? What's to lose? You know, with everything that's going on in America and everything, to get knowledge. They go, I'm not sure. Said, you know what? You can always sign a signature, sign the petition or the initiative, and then go on our website and find out more and everything, and educate yourself. I'm so glad you're interested in that. And then you say, so are you interested in being part of the democratic process in California and having this conversation? If majority of Californians agree with that, they either say again, yeah, okay, I'll do it, or they say no, and you go, okay, well, thank you for your time. Again, you can find out more. At this point, you can give, if that person is like iffy and maybe interested, you can always give a petition, an initiative form to them and say, look, go on the website, find out more, educate yourself. If you're interested, then sign it. You can send it off yourself, tell your friends about it, this and that. So the whole thing, now I'm going a little longer because I'm explaining, but the whole thing should be like no more than 3 minutes. No more than 3 minutes, and that's already huge. You have to let go. You have to let go of the people that you know are not going to do it. You have to spend a little more time possibly explaining to somebody that's kind of interested, but you don't want to get into the politics and the specifics or anything, because your redirect is always, this is not what this initiative is about. It's not about water in California. It's not about the military. That's later, we will discuss it. That's just to have the conversation. Already that makes them feel easier. And for an unexperienced gatherer, signature gatherer, it gives them the confidence that they have an out when they don't know every issue. I don't know every issue and everything. So the whole thing is that they have to sound confident, knowledgeable, and even if they don't know something, that they appear to know it, but they don't want to waste time explaining the whole thing, because that's not what this initiative is about. That's all. So those are the 4 points. It's the pitch, the answering of questions, a couple, 1 or 2, redirecting if you have to, and then closing the thing. That's the 3 minutes process. So that's one of the things I wanted to say about the gathering. And we're gonna do what we're gonna do right now. We had said with Marcus we can do a role play, just him and me, for example, and then you'll see the example, and then we'll do it with different people if you want to see, and then we can evaluate, what's going to happen, because this is what's going to happen on the street, where you're going to be asked something, you don't know it or whatever, and how do you handle it? How do you handle these people in this multi-case scenarios that you could have? And those are the basic ones, really. So Marcus, anything else to add to that, or you want to skip into doing it?
No, I think let's just practice. You and I can start. I'll be your guinea pig, Daniel, but then we'll go around and we'll have everybody practice. And this is your chance to show what you think is the best way to interact with a
right. And like I said, the toolbox thing is some of you are going to have 5 tools, some of you 2, some of you 15. So you'll be able to answer every question, but the redirect is meant so that you don't have that tool. Somebody asks you about water thing, I don't know. You don't have the drill, you don't have the thing. Then that's where when you redirect. That doesn't mean that you're stuck and that you're going to be embarrassed, because you have this method of redirecting it back to the initiative. So Marcus, I'm going to be the host.
Yeah. Dan and I will practice. You guys can watch, and then we'll go around. And
we're going to do.
Everybody gets a turn to practice their lines.
Yeah. We're going to do 2 scenarios. A scenario that's easy. The first one is going to be easy, just how to normally talk to someone that's receptive about, signing and stuff. So I'm going to, Marcus, I'm passing by. I'm passing by. You're at a table, booth somewhere, at an event. I'm passing by, and you see me, and I'm glimpsing at you, but I'm starting to go like, oh shit, there's a the activist salesman. So I'm going to kind of detour that. So Marcus, what do you do? I'm walking by right now.
Hey, are you a registered voter? Are you a registered voter?
Yes, yes, I am.
Oh, so you care about voting and democracy.
Yes, I do.
Oh, great. We have a petition here that is to allow Californians the right to have a panel study an issue for them and inform the voters about a future vote. It's just a study panel that would allow Californians to look into an issue and become better educated about it. Would you be willing to sign a petition allowing Californians to have experts study an issue and inform them intelligently how to think about that issue?
What issue are we talking about? I mean, what specific issue is it? A specific issue?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good question. Basically, have you ever heard of a sinking ship?
Yes.
Okay. So if a ship is sinking, don't you want a life raft? I mean, usually you're on a ship, the ship's sinking. Um, do you think having a life raft would be a good idea if you're on a sinking ship?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's basically what the study committee does. It looks at a life raft for California if things get worse with the federal government's response to coronavirus and a lot of other emergencies. Perhaps you saw how the federal government completely failed to provide oversight on coronavirus, and we Californians had to handle it all on our own, basically. Did you notice that?
Yes, yes, I did. But
Okay.
so what are you? Is this like an independent California type of thing that I've heard about? Is that what this is about?
There definitely are supporters of Independent California who like this idea, but we're actually reaching out and getting a lot of regular voters who aren't sure. They're not sure if an independent California is a good idea. And that's why we have this initiative, so that we can get experts to study the issue and inform all of us in California and all our elected officials how to think about this. You're right, there's a lot of people talking about this, but maybe they're not talking the right way. Maybe they need better information. We want to make sure that voters are informed to make a rational choice at the polling booth. How can that be wrong?
Okay, but if, since you're going, let's say what I understand is that you're going towards California splitting up with the United States. Is that correct?
The initiative doesn't actually do that. So the initiative just has a panel of experts look into how California could be more independent from the federal government if it has to be. And I got to tell you, when I saw Donald Trump completely failed to provide COVID regulations and our own governor had to step up with the West Coast Pact to do it, I mean, the federal government's supposed to be providing oversight. They completely failed. Clearly, things aren't working the way they're supposed to be. Shouldn't we look into how to deal with that better?
Yeah, but so what's going to happen like with our military won't be protected? What's going to happen with our water, that we get out of state? What happens then, you know?
Those are great questions. And honestly, I don't know the right answer. I've heard a bunch of different ideas, but this is the thing. If there's a bunch of possible answers, shouldn't we have a panel of experts figure out what the right answer is? You're saying, what about the water? What about this? What about that? And I'm saying, I don't know. So why don't we get the right people to find the answers and let you and me know so we can at least have an intelligent discussion? Is it wrong for you and me as voters to be educated so we can have a smart discussion? Is it wrong that there's actual answers I could give you to the questions that you're asking?
Okay, so you're actually saying this would not put this is just to study it, but this if a majority of Californians vote on this, this isn't independent. It's not going to bring independence to California.
Correct. Yes.
Right away,
It
right?
does not bring independence to California. It just gets people to study it.
Okay. Okay. Um, I don't know. Maybe I should study it more. I'm not really knowledgeable. Do you have any further information where I could get information on your movement on this?
Yeah. Yeah, there absolutely is. Just the way, Dan, I'm being told I already sold the sale, by the way. So I'll continue to play along. But yes, there certainly is websites where you can get information. Here's a card. Here's a flyer. Check out this website. You can get more information. Nobody's saying, and here you go. If you're not ready to make a decision, here's a copy of the petition for you to read. And here's our website right here and more information. And here's my name and my email, and you can email me personally. But I got to tell you, the point is that you're asking, what about this and what about that? And that's the whole point. We don't know. No one knows the answers to your questions. I can't answer your questions. Only a panel of experts can. So if you're going, what about this, what about that? I'm saying, here's the solution to the problem you're bringing up. Isn't that worth signing?
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll sign it. Yeah.
Great.
So you kind of like, this was supposed to be, Marcus, the one where you're knowledgeable about water and military, and the other one was where you don't know anything. But so you did kind of both, so we don't have to do the two scenarios. But what he did is the second scenario where he goes, I don't know those, I don't know that. But it doesn't sound like he's ignorant or anything. He's saying this is exactly why we have this initiative. And he took the route of, I don't know. Now, I just want to point out there's a second route of that is saying, well, you know, I could tell you. I know about the military. I know about the water issue. I could tell you, but I don't have time to explain all that. It would take, you know, a larger conversation, which is exactly what this initiative is about, is to get, you know, all those issues, to get a panel to study them, and everything. And if you're really interested, which is great, I'm glad, you know, you're interested in this issue, go to the website, but you have nothing to lose in signing this petition. You know, so either they'll say, well, okay, give me a petition. You kind of want to close it, because if you're giving them a petition, most likely they won't do shit with it. They won't go to the website to look at it or anything. So you
don't know that. We don't know that. I've seen people look at the petition and the flyers.
Maybe,
I don't want to discount
maybe, but I just want to say the close there is better than the close later. That's all. Just like any sale, when you see somebody, a customer that you talk to about and go, let me think about buying this stereo because I don't want to research. Like most likely, most salespeople won't know that they won't see that person again. Of course, there's exceptions and stuff that they'll come back, but you're basically, if you haven't closed it, you take the risk of losing it. So that was the scenario. Marcus, how do you want to go about having other people?
I think we should move on to other people, and we should not make it as tough. So be a little bit easier with each other, just because this is our first practice. But Dan, I think you should lead us through. Everybody plays. I'm the skeptic, and I'm the person selling the initiative, and we give each person a chance to try their talking points on video. I just had to go through with it, so I don't want to hear I can't do it, because Sue always steps up, and Sue's our example. So Dan, lead us through. Dan, you could be the person on the street if you want, and the person you're interviewing will be here's how I would try to sell the initiative. You know, just a couple minutes per person, and let's just keep moving through.
Okay. So Shankar, you want to go?
Yeah, look, yeah, I do. But before I start, with you, right? With you, Dan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, before that, Dan, everything that you guys said, absolutely true. You guys played out the worst case scenario, in my opinion.
Pretty close, yeah.
That's the worst you're going to get, folks, is what you just saw in Dan and Marcus. Don't get locked in a situation where you're debating the politics of price versus China and all that.
Exactly.
Do not. So look, it's what I do is this. It's 3 yeses, okay? Most chances, if you get people to say the first 2 yeses to your questions, they're naturally going to say yes to the third one. It's like it's an old trick of the book. Everybody knows this one. So your first question.
So let me walk by and you do that. You do your spiel. I'm walking by.
So I'll explain it to you. So I go, are you a registered voter? Yes. Are you registered in LA County? Yes.
Wait, save that for the role play. do it like you're on the street right now. Don't explain it to us. We know.
Okay.
Right? Do it on the street. I'm passing by.
Okay.
And
Are you a registered voter?
and you know, you see me and you see me kind of like not looking at you and stuff. So what do you do to get my attention?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know you were doing that. Someone that's not looking at me, I'll let that guy go and look for someone else and make eye contact.
Okay, so I'm looking at you. I'm intrigued. I said, well,
Let's maybe not make it super difficult.
okay. I'm looking.
Yeah, let's turn the level down to 2, and then let me go through it once, and then you can turn the level up to 10. And then
Let me go back, and I see you. You've got your little table. You've got your.
Oh, okay. I got a booth scenario. Perfect. All right.
Yeah, and I look and I see the banners. I see.
Yeah.
And in California already. So.
Where are you a registered voter?
So I'm making it easy because Marcus, we didn't know. You know, we didn't know what he was selling.
Let's just,
he had to explain.
Yeah. Let's just move on.
So go.
Dan, please.
Shankar,
Where are you?
I come up to the booth and I'm kind of looking curiously. Go ahead.
Sir, are you a registered voter?
Yes, I am.
Are you registered in LA County?
I am.
Sir, would you like to sign a petition to form a California commission on how to improve the environment? We're just collecting signatures here.
This is about the environment.
I'm sorry?
This issue is about the environment for what though? For
Yeah, it's an initiative to reform California's entire economics, including the environment.
okay.
We're just collecting signatures here.
And how do you propose to do that?
Well, they're going to form a commission, like I said, to examine the issue.
So, but I see you have independent California flags and stuff. Is that what this is about?
It's about California becoming a little bit more on its own, taking care of its own. I mean, we're just collecting signatures, sir. If you're a registered voter, it's just a commission, that's all. Nothing's going to happen. There's no major change in policy. We're not turning communist. We're just getting signatures to form a commission on evaluating its environment. And I've actually got to get to this person over here really quick, sir. So if you want to read it, it's right here. Just go ahead and read it. I'll be back in 1 sec, okay?
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Now I'm gonna let that guy sit there and soak in it for a little bit because I'm in a booth, right? I'm in a booth. So now I'm gonna go try and get 3 yeses from this other person. Sir, are you a registered voter? Yes. Are you registered in LA County? Yes. And now look at how I asked the question. Would you sign a petition to form a California commission to, and this part, kind of read the person, see what they're into, to reform California economics, if they look right-winger, to better its environment, like I did to Dan, because he looks like a kind of a hippie kind of guy. So, or another one would be to examine its military, because guess what, guys? That's what this commission does. It's looking at all of those issues and how we're going to save money on it. So we can touch base like that. Now, here's the kicker. Once you do say that little environment thing, like Dan just did, he's going to want to know exactly how it goes into the environment. But don't spend too much time with them, guys. 3 minutes tops, 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops. Don't sit there and get into an hour-long discussion like they said. It's to do it. So look, if he says no and he's hemming and hawing, get his email. So I'm off talking to this other guy. I'm going to come back to Dan. All right. Now he's sitting there. He's looking at my initiative. Sir, would you like to put your signature down? I'm going to ask you, Dan. Would you like to just add your name?
Well, I kind of have. I need some more information of what this.
Sure, of course you do. What? If you
is.
jot your email down right there, if you jot your email down, you can catch up on all our stuff. It goes into depth and detail on this petition, the initiative, and you can read it from there. And then all our contact info. You can even get a copy of this and download it and sign it yourself. Thank you. Go on to the next guy.
Okay. Well,
That's all the time you really want to spend, man.
you either made the sale or you didn't right there. So, but that's a good
Sure.
approach also. That's a
Because-
good approach. Well, all approaches are good, but
Look,
we'll talk about it after.
Get his email, guys. Get it at the end. He's not leaving without giving you nothing. All right, he's going to give you something. Get his email at least. That way we can add him to our list, and boom, we're growing our own email list as well. All right, so that's.
Okay.
Sorry if that was my scenario, bro.
That was perfect. That was perfect, Shankar.
Cool. So,
There's no right
we'll
answer.
We'll come
We're here
back to
we're
those
here to
to
identify
everybody
it.
and see what's good about it and bad and stuff. Who wants to go next? I'm not going to be the walker by. Somebody else be the walker by.
I will. I'll do the walker by. So who wants to go?
Oh, we got some shy candidates.
We're going to have to start calling names.
I'll go.
Everybody has to go. That's why Daniel and I went first. Okay.
I want to go last,
go.
but I've got a really good reason for wanting to go last.
Okay. I'm going to just start calling names. Hannah.
Oh boy.
Oh, wait.
Hey.
Edwin wants
Yeah,
to go.
I go.
Okay.
When
I was
go
just-
first? Okay.
Okay, Edwin, you go first. Edwin, I am a regular random person on the street, and I'm walking by, and I see you have a shirt on that says Independent California and a flyer, and all you saw was my eye catch what you're saying. I didn't stop, but I definitely looked.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like,
You got your face mask on?
Sorry, I laughed too much.
No, that's good. I see this guy walking by. Hey, staying safe out there, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Yeah, no. Staying safe out there with everything going on.
Oh, yeah, you got it, brother. You got it.
Hey, so how do you feel? How do you feel about your voice in terms of California and in terms of California's voice in terms of the nation with everything going on?
Well, they always decide the president
Maybe some eyes.
before they, I'm sorry. They always decide the president before they take our votes, like every single election.
Right.
Every election, my vote doesn't count. It always goes to the Dem, which I'm okay with, but it's like I'm discounted like every single election.
Yeah.
And I heard they didn't even come and campaign here, and then they just take our money. It's like we're just an ATM to them.
Yeah. Like
Sorry.
we tend to. No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, I know. I feel you. We tend to feel like tends to feel like we're a bit ignored. We're actually, if you wouldn't mind taking a look at this, we're putting together a discussion commission of experts that are actually moving towards giving California more of a voice in terms of these larger discussions that are going on, especially in the face of all the events that we're experiencing these days. If you'd be interested.
What kind of discussion?
So it's a panel of experts. We're talking about putting together this panel of experts that's going to discuss all kinds of stuff, namely addressing the viability and sustainability and growth of California, giving us a little bit more weight in these discussions. I mean, I don't know how long you've lived in California. How long have you been here?
I was born here.
You were born here. Yeah, same here. Same.
Yeah.
So we've seen this pretty much our whole lives. California we kind of get pushed to the side a little bit, but as Californians, we do have a great sense of community. We've got a great sense of what's the right thing to do. And we tend to get ignored. And it's time for our voices to kind of take more of a main stage in terms of saying, hey, we think that these are viable solutions. We think that these are some really good points to make that should be paid attention to. Don't you agree?
So this makes Washington pay more attention to us?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Well, let me look at that.
That's what we're working at. Absolutely.
Do you have a copy I could look at, sir?
Sure. I've got a copy right here. Here's
Okay.
also a card.
Look
If you
at that.
if you put your email address down here too, we can send you some more information. You can go over it at your leisure. So I should be giving you more space.
Well, hold on. I don't want to sign something saying I secede.
Oh yeah, no,
Is that what
that's
I'm
not.
doing?
I know you see the shirt, we've got like the banners and everything like that. We're part of this thing that's sort of happening. This isn't something that's just going to happen. This is, as we said, this is a discussion panel. This is a discussion and a voice for all Californians. So this is, as opposed to how we were kind of talking about the larger federal government just sort of decides what they're gonna do. And then they tell us, hey, this is what we've decided to do. All of us, all of us, all the way down to you, your brother, your sister, everybody, we're looking to have more of a voice to say, this is what we want. And listening to that and putting that together is the consensus. So that's
If I sign this, I'm not signing that we're seceding. I'm signing these experts are going to.
no, absolutely not. See, as it says right here, see how you can see that this is not talking
I see
about.
that. I see that now. You pointed that out to me. Thank you for pointing that out to me. On the
Absolutely,
mission.
sir. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.
Well, I will sign this because it allows the California voters to have experts inform us. But you're promising me I'm not signing something saying we're seceding, right?
No,
Yes, sir.
absolutely not. That's, and
Okay.
that's a problem that we've seen with California too, is that
All
people
right.
you know, the larger government kind of tries to sneak in stuff like that. We're trying to do this with a lot more transparency and a lot more of asking our fellow Californians, what do you want?
Okay, well, I signed. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Have a wonderful day.
Great.
Thank you.
All right,
Good one.
that was good. Let's go to the next person. Let's keep it
Thank you.
hot.
Thanks, you
We're
guys.
in a roll. Edwin, you did good. Who
Thank
wants to go next? Please volunteer so I don't have to pick on you. Oh, Hannah.
you.
Hannah, you're next. Hannah.
Oh, Hannah is or Matt?
I think
Matt.
he said me. Okay,
Hannah.
real simple. Hey,
Well,
how's it
hold on,
going
hold
there
on.
today?
Hold on. Okay, yeah. Okay, now go, Hannah. Sorry.
Hey, how's it going there today?
Decent. How are you doing?
I'm all right, all right. You registered to vote in whatever, Los Angeles County?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So do you support the independence of California?
Whoa. The what?
Well, you probably have heard about it right now, right? I mean, all the trouble that's going on, and there's a lot of discussion, new books out about different states combining, us, you know, uniting with Oregon and Washington State. A lot of people are talking about this, and we're looking for people who have already kind of, you know, think that makes something that they want to look into.
Oh, that West Coast pack thing? I don't know about that. That sounds like a bunch of hogwash.
Okay, well, tell me some of the questions you've some of the things that are concerning you.
Well, how, Governor Newsom thinks we got our own country and he can just do whatever he wants. I mean, what isn't there federal troops, and won't they just march troops in here and take over?
Well, I suppose the main thing to remember is, well, I guess no. Now the current situation we're in, you know, there's no likelihood of that to happen. No, it's really doubtful whether or not the United States, whether or not the troops will even follow Donald Trump. And that's how the chaos that's going on, and we need to take this seriously, I think.
So what does this initiative do?
Okay, specifically this initiative sets up a process which would lead to independence in a final vote on independence in 2024, because this is we're a democratic movement and we really believe in democracy. But frankly, you can also look at this as a way to tell Washington, because after all, we get a bunch of signatures. We don't have to even get the full amount. When we get even 25%, there'll be news articles that say California is really talking about moving out. And at that point, we hope that this will kind of shake up the system a little bit. And maybe people will start acting like big boys and taking charge of the situations, because let's face it, as we have to leave in. I don't think we should be. I feel that we should be afraid to leave the United States, but I somehow deep down here, really hope that we don't.
And so this initiative, if 25% of us sign it, we're going to scare Trump away. Is that what happens?
Well, let's just say that, we need to send a message to Washington that they won't miss. We do all the petitioning, we send letters. I mean, for starters, who do we write to, right? I mean, we got 2 Democratic senators who are totally against Trump, and we got a bunch of U.S. Congress members of Congress, and they're against Trump, and then you got a few Republicans who are for Trump. Nobody's really saying here, no one's going to get listened to, it seems to me, unless we the people stand up, and we demonstrate and stuff like that. It gets on the news, and that's already good. But what really makes a message that can't be missed, which is we've had enough. We've had enough of your SHI, and you know what I mean. And get with the program, or you're
I
gonna
don't like
get
Trump. So I sign this. This is telling Trump to. Is that what you're telling me? Because I don't like Trump, and I'd
Let's
like
say
to tell him
I
that.
think that's definitely one message it will definitely send. That's absolutely one way it's going to send that message,
Okay.
in a peaceful, nonviolent, legal way to do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well,
we're just asking you to basically stand up for California, put your name on here, and your email, and let's all work together.
Do you have the initiative that I could sign?
Oh yeah, of course, right here in the booth here, and you know, you told me you're in this county, so here's the county that you want
Okay.
to sign up to right here. Right in that line right there. Have any questions? By all means, ask me.
Okay. Okay. All right. That was very good, Hannah. Let's keep the momentum going. Who wants to go next? Matt?
That's another way to do it. In other words, another way is just what I was doing, if you didn't realize, was just saying, if you said absolutely not, or you're a communist, you just go on, thank you very much, sir, and you move on. That's another way to do it.
I want to hear Joe.
Actually, I have something to jump in real quick.
Sure.
Just like a little piece. I really want everybody to kind of like think about like this. What we saw too with Marcus. Marcus was kind of like giving points to say like, well, I'm interested in this. Is this what you want?
Oh, yeah.
Lean into it and say, absolutely, that's what we're talking about, man. Like this is, and then lead into that, because they're like, tell me something I want to hear. Like, this is something that's relevant to me. Let's talk about what's relevant to you then. Like, that's something to look for those opportunities and like jump in on those and say like, all right, man, what do you want to talk? What's your concern? You know what? We'll bring that to the table then, you know?
Right.
Edwin, perfect.
Right.
Edwin, great. Yes, you picked up on what I was doing. People are going to give you hints. Even if they don't intentionally recognize they're doing it, they may subconsciously say, oh, my daughter talked about this dismissively. Now, that may come across as an insult, but it's not. They just told you, you show me how my kid is relevant, and I'll open up. So when people hit you, they're going to put their walls up. They're telling you what bricks you need to remove. They don't know they're doing that.
Right.
Listen, oh, this is your brick. This is what's important to you. And I got to be there. Okay, let's keep going. Matt Owens, you're up.
Who?
Matt Owens.
And you can take your mask off a little bit for this trial.
I don't know that guy. My name don't have an S on it. But
Okay,
anyway,
for the audio recording, Matt, we need the mask off. I'm sorry. It's my fault. So,
Appreciate your dedication to safety, sir.
And don't
No,
take the
take the-
you know, if I was
Take
role
mask
playing,
off.
the first thing I'd be, I'd be masked up. And,
I know, and I appreciate the commitment. So here, I'm just walking on the street, and you approach me. So here, I'm walking. Mhm.
Hi there. I'm circulating petitions today. Lucky you. What county are you registered to vote in, by any chance, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm in San Bernardino County.
Oh, yay! Yeah, we know about that. So, anyways, what do you think about the upcoming election?
Give it a second. It froze. It'll come back.
What's happening?
It's frozen. Be right back. There it is.
Okay.
Okay, there it is.
Oh,
Matt?
Yeah. What you think about the upcoming election?
I'm scared. You know,
You too?
I'm scared. I'm really scared about how things are going to go. Who's going to win? Trump could win, even if Biden wins. Things are bad.
Yeah.
Jobs are going down. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't. A lot of
hear
things. Just I'm
Well-
worried about the future.
Yeah, me too. And the people I'm working with too. Well, there is another possibility. There is another choice besides, Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Okay, stop.
And that is if California is a little more assertive, okay, versus these politicals in D.C. And so I imagine you have a ton of questions about, whether, how that would work or whether it would work. And this initiative I got here in my hands, it basically calls together some people who know a lot more than we do to answer those questions. The questions that you might have, the questions that we might have. Okay. The petition is to get a panel of experts together to try to come up with some answers to those questions. Should we become independent of the U.S. or should we not? If so, how would it work? If not, why not? Okay. So it's basically answering the questions we all have on that situation. We're kind of hopeful because, well, okay, you're kind of shaking in your boots like we are in ours, sort of like you're aboard the USS Titanic and you see it starting to ship some water over the gunnels, and you're a little anxious, right?
It's scary right now. I don't know I'm for secession. I do think it's really scary. Is that what you just said?
Well, it is. It's very scary. And isn't this about the time that we should start heading for the lifeboats? Yeah, start heading for the lifeboats. California could be one and only one of those lifeboats. Okay, it could be the first lifeboat away before the sea suck starts towing you under.
Well,
So
hold on. The next election is going to come and fix everything. We're just going to have a new election and the new person will come in and everything will be magically fixed. So why don't I just wait for the election? You know, America's had tough times before. It'll bounce back. Everything will be just fine. We just need one more election. So why do I need to see?
Okay, check it. Are you by any chance voting by mail? Most of us
Yes,
are.
I am. Yeah. Well, COVID, I gotta watch out.
Unfortunately, it's getting a lot more difficult. Have you heard that they're pulling the mailboxes and they're shutting down the sorting machines, the mail sorting machines? So this upcoming November 3rd, it's going to be like Christmas and sending for something, and maybe you'll get it someday. But do you really think that the mail-in ballots are going to be in time? Which what you might do is, instead of relying on that delivery, and you can do this, by the way. San Bernardino County and all the counties do have a registrar of voters. They got a drop box. Okay, so you can do that for now. But that's here, and that's in California, and we do have that. And what about the other 49? Okay, they're shutting down more mailboxes than they're shutting down
I
here.
heard Trump shutting down the post office. Is that true?
Yeah. This is not an exaggeration. He's having them pull mailboxes and shut down sorting things, right?
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Hold on. Everybody has to mail in their ballots because of COVID, and Trump shut down the post office. So my vote may not even get in. Is that what you just said?
Yeah. Your vote may not get in.
Oh my God. So
Yeah.
hold on. Let's say you're telling me the truth. I don't know. I haven't watched MSNBC this morning, but I'll check you out and see if you're right. How's this petition fix all that?
Well, the petition basically asks the question of people who are in a position to know, who studied the question in detail. And, each of the experts has a different field or 2 or 6 of expertise. So, we're going to shop pretty carefully, for people who know what they're talking about. And we're going to ask them, A, should California become independent of the U.S.? And B, if so, how? And C, if not, why not? So it works both ways. They might say, it's a terrible idea because da, 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 da. Or, yeah, you should go ahead and go for it because da, 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 da. Okay, so that's what this petition in front of you is asking people a lot more knowledgeable than us. Should we go ahead and do that?
Well, why can't I wait until, we try the ballots and then maybe they don't get counted and maybe the election doesn't go well. And then I think I'd be in a better position to sign a situation to sign. Maybe we should wait and see if democracy works first before I sign.
Well, the only problem is that, we know the trajectory from the pulling of the postal facilities. We know that it's going to be a rocky road. There's going to be a lot of contests. It's quite possible that both candidates will declare victory. Then what do you do? Plus, there's another sort of kicker out there, and that's Trump supporters, who he calls, fine patriots and all this sort of thing. They're willing to go out, and I've seen them. They're willing to go out and block people. And you think that's going to slow down?
I signed this petition in case America blows up during election season as a backup. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we're at the case, like I say, we're like aboard the Titanic, and the top deck is flooding, the iceberg is hit, and that's not a good thing. Even if you want more ice, that's not the way to get it. So the Titanic was already shipping water over the gunnels. Okay, it's already over the top decks. If you've seen the movie, it's like right before the keel breaks. Okay, there's people already going out to the fantail, and they're crowding aboard the lifeboats. Well, we're getting a lifeboat ready. It's called California. We're getting a lifeboat ready.
Let's stop there. I like that. That was hot. Good work, Matt. Next person. Who wants to go next?
Wait, I would just like to say, if I was mad, I would have said, "Get the fuck out of here." I'm tired of your. No, I'm just kidding. Go on.
Who wants to go next? I'll have to call someone. Can someone just volunteer?
I could go next.
Okay, who's that? Jason.
Jason.
Okay. Jason, I'm a random person on the street. Here's me walking. Approach me when you're ready, brother. I'm walking.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a second to talk about California's future?
Wait, the audio is breaking up.
The audio is breaking up a little, Jason.
Sorry, I've got problems with my headset.
Yeah,
Coming through, okay.
No, can you disconnect the headset or maybe replug it back in? I'm sorry.
I like that.
Hey, come on, turn off. Come on. Oh my God, now my headset.
Try it without the headset, maybe.
Jason?
I think he's trying to tweak it, but
There we go. Okay. So now I'm using the speaker from my phone. Am I coming through clear?
yeah, you're definitely
That's
breaking.
it's really scratchy. Jason, I'm going to ask you to log out of the meeting and then log back in. That's the only solution. I'm not a tech dude, so that the audio scratchy.
Okay.
Yeah, just log out and log right back in, brother. I'm going to do another practice, but I'll come right back to you. So log out and log back in, brother, and we'll go. Okay. Okay. All right. Who would like to go next?
We've got John, Hal, Sue wants to go last, so it's either one of you, Hal or
Okay.
John. You go,
John.
Hal.
Hal, you and me.
You're muted, I think. Ask to unmute. Yeah.
How's a ringer?
There you go.
Hal.
Actually, I'm not. Listen, but I'm gonna point something out here, which I'm working on even as we speak. And I thank you all for this meeting because it's been very helpful. We need a script, especially if we're going to be training people. We need a script. Then the script is, and we pointed out how the script goes. It's like answering questions is terrific. Answering the questions is great, but we need to get them to that point. So we need, if we're going to train people to do this, it's like we either have to train them on this broad spectrum of all of our knowledge, or we're going to need a simple script, which basically starts off with, "Hello, are you a registered voter?"
Okay, well,
Yes.
Hal, I'm going to stop you because I want you to do the role play with that, with your theory of making it short. So go ahead. Marcus is walking by. Go ahead.
Can I get you to sign a petition for a ballot initiative to establish the California State Government Commission on National Sovereignty and Independence from the United States?
A what?
Yes! No problem with that.
That was a huge. Could you say that? I'm
You're
sorry.
absolutely right. It is. You have work to do here, Marcus.
I am only prepared to help people with practice at this moment. I think you're bringing up great points, and we should do that. This segment's about practicing, and then we could.
And that's kind of what I'm bringing up.
I think
now.
I was shorter.
Well, the problem we're facing is, and we've all seen this with petitions before, if we don't give them what's at the top, basically what's at the top of the initiative, this is, tell them what this is about directly, the honest assessment, they will even if they might have been favorable, they will automatically begin to treat us as though we are trying to pull something. We've all seen, if you've collected signatures, you've all seen that. Oh, this is about sovereignty. Oh no, this is about states' rights. And we've all tried these different arguments. We're going to want to break this into a smaller one. This petition's for a ballot initiative to establish a commission on California independence.
Okay. So Marcus, go on with that one. You're going okay.
Okay.
Ask him. Do you have a question for him now?
Why would I support that?
Well, have you been watching the news?
I mean, yeah. I mean, what exactly am I? What exactly am I? Are you talking about?
Well, actually, I'm asking what your question is. Have you been watching the news lately? It's like America. It's like in America today, California is getting less and less for. God, I lost my script.
It's all right. It's all right. That's why we're here.
My mind's somewhere else. I'm sorry.
Okay. Hal, I'm going to come back to you, okay? I'm going to come back to you, brother. Jason, are you there? Okay. Joe, are you there?
I'm here.
Jason,
Jason.
Did you fix your
Okay,
sound?
your audio's good. Okay, so Jason, let's do a practice. I'm a regular California stranger. And then Jason, you approach me. So here's me walking by.
Hey, excuse me, sir. Are you a registered voter and do you have a second to discuss California's future?
Yes, I am a registered voter. What's wrong with California's future?
Well, you know, the way things have been going lately, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but California seems to be getting discounted in our votes left and right. And, you know, with all this mail stuff going on, is my audio still breaking up?
Yeah, your audio's horrible.
I'm sorry, the audio. I'm sorry, Jason. It's super scratchy.
It's very hard to understand.
I'm not.
It might be your headset or something.
Maybe unplug the headset.
I don't have a headset in right now.
Oh, is it your phone?
Guys, it's just simply low bandwidth. I can tell you that as a neck tech for years experience.
Maybe.
It's low bandwidth, and Jason's just getting, because he's out in the woods. You're not on Wi-Fi, right? Are you? Maybe, Jason?
No Wi-Fi.
You're on 3G or something like that on your phone?
4G.
3G? Yeah, you're pretty much. Maybe you can sit under the cell phone tower, but that's about all you can do. Bye.
Okay.
Unhappy face.
Jason, I'm going to come back to you. Jason, I'll come back to you. So, Sue, we've gone through everybody. You're last.
Yes.
Let's practice.
Go ahead. Unmute yourself. You're unmuted.
All right. Are you the guy walking by, Marcus?
Yes, here's me walking by.
Okay. Hey, sir, are you registered to vote here in California?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Did you know about this movement to put a panel put a topic up for discussion by our legislators to get California a little bit more autonomy?
I haven't heard anything about it.
Would you like a few more facts from a panel of experts?
I would think that a subject like that should have experts look into it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, these petitions say that we can make that happen. Would you like to sign this petition?
To have a panel of experts look at a subject.
Yes, just to look at it. It doesn't say that you're voting for more autonomy for California. It just says that we all get to talk about it and hear about it from our panel of experts.
So if I sign this, I'm not signing for secession.
No.
This just lets experts inform me about that idea.
Yes.
Why do we even need to think about that right now?
Because right now we're attached at the hip to the US, and the US is the Titanic. Have you seen that in the news about all the stuff going on about how COVID wasn't handled by our current administration, and our economy is going downhill in the US? Have you seen all, have you watched the news lately and seen all that?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big problems. There's a lot of
And
big.
if we stop being attached at the hip to the US, then we get to do a lot better than that. We will end up not suffering so much from a sliding down economy or a down spiraling economy.
So this initiative allows us to look at how we can limit the amount of damage that's going with America right now as it falls into our lap.
Absolutely right. And it also looks at how we can improve on that. Because there are a million ways we can totally improve on that. Would you be willing to sign and look at some of those issues, like cleaning up our environment? Because we won't be under the thumb of the US anymore, so they won't get to drill offshore in our backyards anymore.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Yeah, good
Yeah,
point.
me too, don't you?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm ready to sign. Do you guys have more information?
Sure, of course. Here's a business card. The website is on the back. Just go to that website and it goes into all those issues for you.
Okay. All right, perfect, Sue. I really liked when I challenged you and I said, why? And you did this. Have you watched the TV? Perfect.
Cool.
That's what Hal and Hannah taught me. Sue did it, everybody, reflexively. And that's one thing I think we all should be doing, which is, what do you mean I'm crazy? You crazy for not thinking about this. You see what's going on? That was perfect. Loved it.
Thank you.
I just wanted, I said to first, I noticed that Sue got better when she got some feedback. Did you notice that? How once you got her something to hang on to, then she sort of bit onto it. You know, and you know, I don't know if that's a good analogy, but and the other is remember in the scenario we've got, we're all going to have the little rosettes, we'll have buttons, we'll have the flag. I mean, people will know already, right? This has something to do with independence of California. And probably the question is going to come up to them something on the order of, why should California become independent? They're going to be coming up to you and asking you that question, I think.
Yeah.
Or just, where do I sign? Thank you so much for being here. And which I have heard many times, say campaigning for Hillary Clinton, for instance, in 2016 or 2012.
Good points.
2008.
Lucas, can I just
yes, sir.
2 minutes on this? Because I know Hal didn't keep on going, but I know Hal so well. I know what he's thinking. Is that there's 2 points. I want to make a point with Edwin and one with Hal. Is that what I've noticed as a theme, and this is for me, that's always been the problem with CFC, other organization, is most of you are shy about saying independent, except for Hannah. Independent. This is about California independence. Everybody's going around the topic. That's what CFC did. More autonomy. We're just doing this. We have independent California in the back of us on our T-shirt. Why shy away from that? Say why we would be better off with an independent California because the federal government is doing this. Put that point out. So that's the first thing I think Hal was trying to say also. Not to shy away from independent California. That's what this initiative is ultimately, to see whether that's a viable option. And by skirting around the issue, we look weak. And also, somebody mentioned this, and I think Hal said it also, we do not want to deceive these people. We don't want to tell them that, like Shankar, the one thing that I found a problem with you is you said, this is about, the environment. You're deceiving somebody. It's not about the environment. You're not stating independent California. You're stating that this will help with the environment. No, it's not a petition. So yeah, maybe somebody's going to be stupid enough, but you're duping them. And that's not a good way to do it. We have to be honest and say what we mean, because then if we get into the skirting around the issue, people are going to start to know it. And my last thing is Edwin really did well. The reason being is that he asked, and I think this is a huge thing, is to ask somebody, what is your issue? So comes up, you go, this is about independent California, so we can better our condition, because the federal government is stopping us in a lot of things, like our environmental policies, immigration, this. But what are you concerned, ma'am, with? What is, you must have a concern about what's happening in the nation or in California. So they're good. She might say, I have no problem. California is doing perfect. What do you say then? You go, yeah, but don't you think we could do better? Are you happy with our homeless? Are you happy with kids in cages on our border? Are you happy with, them, like Sue said, wanting to put, oil rigs on our ocean? There's no way somebody is not going to have a problem with something within California itself. And then you bring it back, so with an independent California, we could deal with that because the federal government is not telling us their policies. We can make our own policy. So the thing that's great about what Edwin did is you ask that person, what is your problem? Because now you're connecting. Now you're like, yeah, I'm like you too. I'm like you too. Yeah, I hate, like Marcus said, I hate those oil rigs and shit. Like now you just touch a personal connection with them, and that's very important to do. So that's my take. If everybody wants to go around and
yeah, let's do that, Dan. Let's quickly, everybody.
Yeah.
Not super long, 1 to 2 minutes max.
That's
Please state what you liked about what someone else did first before you state your critique of someone else. So let's start with Hannah. Hannah, 2 minutes. What did you like? What did you not like? And then we're going to go around the rock, and then we're going to go to Hal, and Hal's going to walk us through the script thing, because obviously we need that. But let's just do a round robin real quick, everybody. Hannah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, real quick, Hannah, 2 minutes. What did you like? What did you not like?
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I won't want to name names. I was going to say that single out that's, I just want to say that Sue particularly started out really, that once you gave her something to connect to, then she got connection to it. And she responded and became, real genuine. Daniel really brought up that point that it's just about trying to make a connection with other people who, as strangers, which is, of course, is difficult. But it's really cool that we're going out there and all our people and all our volunteers are all there because they really are sincerely supporting this position. I think that's really exciting. That's going to come across really well for the groups, for the compared to the paid petition signature gatherer who barely knows the topic and can never present that kind of sincerity. So that's really great. But that's really should be really the goal, though. It's that we enter into a conversation with our local friends, our local neighbors. A lot of these people are going to be our local neighbors and people in our own community. And so that's what that's a positive. But and also, I guess I give a backhanded comment to Hal that, hey, he really showed how important how you gotta make an opening line that is brief.
That's good.
And briefer the better. And and that's and I also think though that we're gonna find out really soon that it's very likely that just point out that Slate magazine or Slate, the Slate.com just put an article out today that said it was about the Kreitner book, the book about secession, and it says California, the United States of America was built to fall apart. That's the headline.
Okay.
Boy, are we in a different world than we were in 2017.
Okay.
All right, Edwin. Edwin, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was just having, I'm moving around a little bit. I was having a bandwidth issue. I also
yeah.
might have, I was outside and my thing might be overheating like a little bit
Oh,
here.
yeah. Hey, and Jason, I'm gonna call you after this. We're gonna get that fixed, brother. I promise you. Jason, I
Awesome.
saw that. I'm gonna get that fixed, Jason. So, Edwin,
We
two
can
things
hear
you
you well.
liked, two things you didn't like. Briefly, sir.
Two things I did not like,
Two things you liked, and then two things you did not like.
and then two
Please.
things I did not like. Okay. Let me see. I liked what I saw a lot for pretty much everybody was there was this sense of sort of like engagement, like really trying to like connect to the person. I feel like that's the most important part, no matter like where your stance is politically, like where you believe everything is, whether you feel you're well informed, whether you're on the fence or whether you're like, well, it's fine. I feel like it's really important to connect on a very human level to be like, okay, again, like as we were talking about, like what are your concerns? Um, and I saw like Matt, for instance, I saw like Matt doing this a little bit too, which was like, hey, let me just give you like the real talk. This is kind of like where we were. This was one thing that I really did like. Another thing that I like sort of saw overall was just again sort of like approach in terms of connecting to people. I know it feels like it's a little bit of the same thing, but to me it feels a little bit different. Just the sort of like tone and approach that I saw quite a bit of, like reaching out, engaging, sort of like being open, sort of like inviting a person in for the conversation. And again, I say that's a little bit different because that goes beyond just like the words itself. That goes in terms of like the stance, in terms of inviting someone in and saying, hey, come on over here. Let's just talk about a thing, regardless of whatever it was. And this kind of moves into like almost like three things that I like too. I really did appreciate that Hal mentioned we do have these points that we do need to get across. And like even when I was jotting down my notes, like I was like, okay, the thing that we're putting in front of people isn't necessarily like independence itself. This is about like putting together the sort of like the panel. But then that made sense later. I was like, yeah, I was like, we've got all of the information here that says like independence, like we are trying to break away. It is important to kind of like cover that. I feel like one thing that we might want to kind of like pay attention to with that is saying like, yeah, this is the place that we are planning to end up, but what we're trying to do is sort of engage you on the first steps, like get you involved in the conversation as we move towards this thing. And like sort of like ease them in, like walk them in. Like I think that was my point when I did that. Like, and it's like in terms of what kind of like didn't work to me was like a couple things that I saw was, and I mentioned this in the text as well, was like approaching with a little bit of like the really intense stuff. Like I feel you, Hal. I feel you so much. Like for 31 years, like my narrative is like, this is important and you need to wake up and pay attention to this right now. People, not tomorrow, not next week. We need to do this right now.
Yeah,
but through actively engaging with people, like more and more, like I started basically when I was about like 13, 14, and it just sort of like snowballed since then. And I was like, all we've got to do is give people more of the facts, show people more of this stuff. But I've noticed that people tend to do this. They sort of lock up and do this fight or flight sort of thing, and then they sort of withdraw. And that's a problem that we've seen like on a very national level when it's like, hey, this thing needs to be addressed. People are like, that's too much. I don't want to. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm too busy. There's too much stuff, and they kind of freeze up. It is very important, and I think that like points on a well-crafted script will very much help to be like, hey, this is very important, but we can ease into this gently. Like, listen, like let's work together on this. And again, I feel like a lot of it is that sort of like tone of inviting people in to be like, there is a lot of heavy lifting, but you're not alone, and we can do this together. This is what we're moving towards, but let's just start with this.
that's good. Okay. Brilliant wisdom. Thank you, Edwin. That's why we have a group. All of us miss things. I miss things. I'm going to go to Hal last so he can do his review of everybody and then move in. let's go to Sue. I'm going to pick on you now. Sue, are you there?
Yeah, I just unmuted myself.
Two things you
Can
like to do and something you didn't like constructively.
Mm-hmm,
Constructively.
something I found interesting, didn't really like it or dislike it any more than anything else. Interesting though, that this was the most understated I've ever heard Shankar. Shankar is usually firing both cannons at the same time, all by himself. Shankar, dude, you were understated today. And yeah, take that as you know, however you want to take it. It's not bad or good. And something else that I think is just really cool is when you word things really simply. This is just for everybody. When you word it so that a child can understand it, and somebody, I forget who said, speak to issues that are important to everybody, like our environment and other California values, like maybe a universal healthcare plan or a universal living wage, that kind of thing, because these are things that really have no political monopoly on them. Like it's not a Republican issue, it's not a liberal issue. Anybody and everybody can get behind it, you know, or they can, or since we're having them sign a petition that says we can talk about this, then they can still get behind it, and later on they can say, no, I hate universal health care, no, I hate a universal with living wage because it'll make everyone lazy. We're just saying, this petition says we get to talk about this issue. I like speaking to issues. I like describing to people in really simple language what the issues are that we're going to get to be able to talk about if they sign this petition. And I know that Hal is really knowledgeable. I really admire that. And you're able to speak like a politician or in very political terms, Hal, and that kind of threw me off. I'm sorry. A script is a really good idea, I think, though, as long as it's in really simple language that anyone can understand and not have to dissect.
Good, good. Okay, let's keep it going. Great comments. Shankar, toned down or toned up. Shankar?
Hey, what's up?
Shankar, what did you like? What did you not like? You can say things you don't like. Let's just be constructive.
Yeah.
Sir, what did you think? What did you notice? Hey, I like that. Hey, let's do more of that. Hey, what about this?
Sue, I would sign in the first minute after you started speaking. You just have an inviting voice. You should be on radio.
She was.
It's easy sign for you. You don't have to try that hard. You went into it really deep with that guy, and I like a couple ways you were saying it. But I don't think it'll ever go that deep for you. I think they'll just sign like just because you're like very nice voice. So yeah, everybody brought up interesting points about what has happened. And I don't want to take this into like getting into weird, harder, because look, I'm about to get in, get out, and get fast, but I'm the last guy to do that. I'm sorry. I will sit there and debate the dude until God's end, and Dan has to pull me away, or somebody's got to pull me away all the time. It's the wrong way to do things. Okay, that's the truth. Everybody knows me. But the right way is get in and get out and go on to the next one. Especially if you're not in sales, if you're not a salesman. Get in, get out. Get in, get out, get out, get out. Don't waste your time. Just look at everybody in the eye, and they'll look at you. And as soon as they do, just approach them or not. If you want to have some fun, approach a trumper and just like BS him or whatever he's got to hear. Just to get his signature, just agree with him and just have him sign. But So I mean, yeah, this is a sales pitch, and it really depends on where you go. So try not to get in long discussions. Matt ends up. Matt, I have to watch you, Matt. Physical altercations are not out of the question when starts speaking. I don't know. They're like, this is the United States or something in the back. What? Oh my God! So Matt, please, man, we're not to offend. Remember, you're on their side, man. You're on their side, right? You're just like them. It's not a please don't try and outdo them with your vast knowledge, man. You know so much about California. It's okay. Don't waste your time with
You may notice that.
with chicks and
Was there anything you saw that said red flags for you? Anything you saw, Shankar, that you're like, hey, watch out for that constructively? You're in sales, so I'm looking to you.
So I mean, if we can just, we've been talking, like I said in the beginning, we're talking about what was bad in California and how it's been shitty. But if we have like the gumption and like the material well enough or whatnot, and you want to change the dynamic of the conversation, talk about what you'd like California to be. Like, hey, wouldn't UBI be a great benefit right now for Californians, where everybody just gets $500 in the just to make sure everybody has money, everybody's got businesses are running, small businesses can use it as a loan, people are spending money just to keep the economy going. What would you think about that? Now that's ballsy. That's what needs to be done essentially to alleviate this BS, the way that the economy is going right now. Try not to go back into the shitty economy and the negative, biggity, boo, all that negative stuff, and just try and keep it like, hey, what would you like to see? And try and guide that conversation that way. But other than that, I didn't see any red flags. Like, I don't think it'll ever go that deep for anybody here. I don't think it'll be a debate on the streets for anybody. So, except for maybe Matt.
Okay. All right.
Marcus for sure. Marcus for sure. Guys, we're all liars here. See, we're telling you to get out, but we all have the long conversation with everybody. It's ridiculous. I think it's because we feel passionate about it. But
let me repeat something that I've always said. You can ask around. I've always said this. You're not going to hear anybody. Whatever the market says is the right answer. That's the fucking right answer.
Yeah.
So I heard a bunch of different answers. We're going to get out there, and Dan's right. When you guys actually start meeting the public, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be coming back, and we're going to find out what's the phrase that sells. So this is to get everybody ready, get you out there. You're going to run into people, and 1 or 5 of you are going to say, if you say blah, 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 kablooey, that way people just go, oh, here you go. Get out of my way. Sign it. So I don't know what that is. You do. The market does. The market's going to tell us. Dan pounded this into my head yesterday on a 2-hour phone call. Marcus, they're going to figure out what the right answer is because the people are going to let them know. So this is to get prepped, to get out there. You're going to find that first answer within the first week because you're going to get out there. You're going to hear things. People are going to say this, and it's going to be a similar sentiment that seemed to work where Sue is at and where Hal's at, and we're going to go, that's it. So
you guys go to the right rallies, you will have lines of people lining up to sign. If you go to the right rallies, where there's the right kind of crowd there, it's going to be lines, and you're going to be managing lines. That's how it is if you're at the right place. So it's just be on your toes. There's video up on I don't know if it's still up, but I'll try and find some video of just this camera overhanging the tent, and it's speed and it's fast forwarded kind of, so you can see like how the action comes and goes, discussions. So try and
send that out. Send that out, Shakes.
Yeah.
Real quick, Jason Von Schrader, Second Brain, Jason, please type your comments here on what you did or didn't like with the presentations, and I will read them. Yes, Jason, I need to know what you're thinking. Tech issues, but Jason, if you can type in the chat, I'll read your comments to everybody. Let's keep going. Matt Owens, briefly, 2 things you liked and what did you not like in a you know, we're all here and we can get it together.
Well, I really admire Hal's commitment to be honest with the folks and not lead them along, that, you know, not do a bait and switch. Okay, I really admire that. However, I hear him doing the same thing that I do in other contexts, as you know, whip out the encyclopedia. And, well, you may notice that on my thing, I didn't do that, did I? Okay, in fact, I led out with a question, which helps me orient. How do you feel things are going? Because my pitch is going to be real different depending on what the answer to that question. See, rather than leading, with the fantail, with the encyclopedia in the back, and the ship's going backwards and there's a lot of drag there. Okay, I did it the other way. Ship's going forward, you're slicing through the water, and all that stuff that we all bring is there. It's there, but it's behind the prow. So I was leading with the prow, and a lot of us were leading with the prow. A quick hook, and then reel in that hook, and you put the bait out there, and depending on what you pull in, that's what you go with. So hence the question, how do you think things are going? And depending on what you get back, well, we've all been adjusting to this in our responses, okay, to the responses of the person that we're seeking to have signed, right? So the response they give you then, oh, they pulled on this hook and not that hook. Let's reel this hook in. Okay. Something I think with Shankar, he had a beautiful jujitsu thing on this whole thing, and that's, you get a trumpster, right? Oh yeah, things are going, and and they notice that we're independent California. Well, you tell you what, this petition right here, this is to actually get some people who know what they're talking about to look at the question of whether we should go our own way. You know what? They may say, horrible idea. They may say that. So let's all find out, guys. Let's all find out. It's beautiful because, depending on what hook, you put out your hooks, and that one nibbles, and that's what you pull in. Is on that hook. Don't worry about the other hooks. Start pulling in on that one. And the various simulations that you were doing, Marcus, were different responses. Okay, different hooks being tugged on, and that's the one you pull in. Is the one that's being tugged on. So that's you saw my technique. I'm not hitting it with the encyclopedia. No. I'm running the boat forwards, leading with the prow, with all them lovely hooks on it, and see what one comes in.
Okay, good work, Matt. Good work. I'm going to read Jason's comment right now. So this is from Jason von Schrader. To everybody, his comments. I agree that we need to let the person guide us to their issue. If they care about environmental stuff, then explain that an independent California can make changes in this area, but under federal control, we can only do so much. And usually we'll get undone and negated by something the federal government does. Do you care about world hunger? California produces a vast amount of ag. At least 9 in 10 of the most in-demand crops around the world are produced here, and we don't actually sell the majority of it. Most of it goes to the Fed and becomes USDA foods. And independent California could be selling those goods to those who need it around the globe. So Jason was pointing out he does like people picking the issues and then you zeroing in on that. That is from General von Schrader. Who has not gone? Am I missing anybody who hasn't been able to give their comments? Okay, then let's go to Hal. Hal,
Okay.
I'm sorry, Matt, did you have another comment?
Oh, I did, me.
Oh, Hannah. Hannah,
I just
yeah.
I think it was a good moment to tell you something about that old film, Northern Lights, which none of you are ever going to see because of whatever. It's 1979. Point is, try to imagine this, right? It's 1915, and a bunch of Norwegian farmers are sitting around drinking coffee on a winter day, and one of them says, "Price of sugar went up again today." Price of sugar, and our hero, the organizer, he says, "Oh, so who do you think sets the price of sugar then?" "Oh, God only knows." "So God sets the price of sugar?" "Oh, no, of course not." "Well, Miss Swanson sets the price of sugar." "Does she really?" "Well, where does she get that sugar from?" "She gets it from Minneapolis. There's a distributor down there." "Yeah, I hear that." And then, and so on and so on. And eventually it gets up to the point of, who sets the price of sugar? It's the Sugar Trust that's controlling the price, national price, the whole global price of sugar. And we need to organize and maybe pass some laws and maybe control that. So that's just a great example of how you listen to the person. I would say read the person and take a good look. I mean, if they're wearing a Sierra Club hat, you know what I mean? Or they have a bunch, or they just be some hemp, say they got a hemp bag, say it's a girl with a hemp bag, she might have a consciousness about environment. So that might be a good thing to try to steer it to, And of course, I just do not know how we're going to reach somebody who's just a MAGA loving Trump, boy, I do not know how we're going to reach those people. And maybe we just don't. We just don't have to worry about it because the majority of folks are on our side. I did make a point that, remember, up to at least 20 million Californian adults could sign our petition. And we can always register them to vote, and then they can sign the petition, right? That's 20 million people. Find those. We don't need 20 million. We just need, 600,000, 300,000? Get those people, sign them. We're golden. We'll move on to the next step later. Just had to say that.
Yeah. Thank you, Hannah. Okay, Hal. Hal, for 10 minutes, could you walk us through what you saw? And I think you're already next level thinking about where we need to be. I'm certainly ready to listen to some guidance. Hal Lore, could you give us some wisdom, brother?
All right, let me back up for a moment and apologize for my head's not really in a role play space at the moment.
That's fine.
No, to give you an idea, it's like at the moment I'm realizing I haven't even been producing memes. Everything that I've been doing lately has been or 90% of what I've been doing lately has been structural.
Good.
It's terrifying. To put it bluntly, it's terrifying. It's like there are 9 people here. To get to 650,000, that means every last one of you needs to collect 70,000 signatures. That's math. That's probably a little extreme. So what I've been doing is I've been personally focusing on the structural stuff. And to be honest, it's like to be here is a little bit like I'm down in the engine room trying to get the engines running, and I'm being called up to the bridge to discuss, something that's going up on deck, and it's like I really have no interest in it right now. I got to be somewhere else.
Okay.
I really need to be down there turning wrenches right now, and not up here discussing with you.
Then
So forgive me in advance. What I need everybody to remember is that what you say and how you say it, the more important thing from where I sit is, can you train others to do what you do and say what you say? The phrase is, we need to be able to teach the teachers. Impart how you do it to the people who we're bringing on, so that they can impart it to others, and so on and so on and so on. To that end, you have to remember the people we're going to be bringing on, they don't have the time we've had to digest everything that's going on.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that we need a script. I mean, it basically needs to be I'm typing one up as we're going here, because I can't stop right now. And largely the outline goes, hello, are you a registered voter? No. They say no, thank them and move on. I mean, you can register them, but honestly, if we're trying, with this many signatures that we're trying to collect, the 10 minutes it'll take you to register somebody to vote, to get their signature, unless you've got a lot of people working your booth and collecting signatures, you're not making a very good use of your time. So the answer, if they say no, it's like, thank you. If they say yes, you proceed. Then we need a nice chopped down version of what I said earlier. It's like what the petition is exactly and what the line across the top is. And again, it's a question, you know, that's what you tell them. It's like, can I get you to sign a petition for, and we name this off. And this, because this is the way we're going to train how many? 100 people? 200?
Yeah.
How many are we going to need? 3? 4? To be collecting these signatures. And we cannot, forgive me, but we can't rely on them all being, you know, California scholars.
Right.
Or scholars on current events. I mean, some of these guys are just going to do it because we give them a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or one of Hannah's very lovely rosebud thingies or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you know, or a hat or some bumper stickers. And it comes down to that. It's like, and when if they say, "Can I get you to sign a petition?" They say no. It's like, again, you thank them and they move on. If they say, "Oh yeah," then you just hand it to them, get a signature on it. And honestly, that person is the person that you're more willing to engage in conversation.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Because honestly, there is the quid pro quo on this goes, if I get somebody who comes in and says, "Yes, I'll sign," and boom, they sign, and now they have questions, I'm recruiting that person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to recruit that guy.
Yeah.
I want that person, you know, in a booth of their own, because we need to collect those numbers. We need to increase the number of people doing this. The person that we have to argue, it's like, it's bad to say it, but every minute we spend trying to make our case, every minute that goes by, we're losing our case.
Ooh.
You know, if the guy is asking, well, what about the water? Well, what about what, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, generally speaking, it's kind of in the frequently asked questions. It's like, we've all got these guys before. You know, California, you know, America's just going to come back and invade. Why are we even talking to this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much, sir. It's been a pleasure talking to you, but I'm going to move on now. Because that guy is not going to sign your paper.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's dangerous to hand them your petition. We've seen this before where a guy will just basically take the pen and he'll just scratch across the whole damn thing and hand it back to you.
Oh.
Truth. That's what we kind of need to get. You guys are brilliant. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's like, don't get anything I'm saying wrong. You guys are absolutely brilliant. I mean, you know, every time I come here, I learn more stuff. Which is you're literally teaching an old dog new tricks. But truth. I mean, really. But there are some truths we need to look at here. And that's kind of it. If we have to put it in front of our heads, we're collecting 650,000 signatures and we're going to build the organization to do that. That means that either everybody here has to collect 70,000 signatures each, or we need to we need to be able to train quickly the people who are going to help us get to those numbers.
Right.
And we need to recruit dramatically. Every person we talk to who's like, "Oh, I've been waiting to sign Cal Lace. I've been waiting to meet up with you guys forever." It's like, here's my business card. Here, you know, here's a T-shirt. Please, where do you live? Are you hungry? You know, we'll order pizza. You know, we need those people. We need that passion. We need that guy or girl. We need that person right there. That's kind of where I'm at right now. To that end, it's like the handbook I've kind of started dropping in places, and Joe Payne's been very helpful. Marcus, thank you. Daniel, everybody for distributing that. Matt, thank you for distributing the meme with the star. I got more if you want. We need to get as much out there as possible. I mean, and that means like grab it, share it, reshare it, punch it out. You know, you bring the. You know, we need to bring up our internet presence. The most important thing isn't that it's going to necessarily reach more people, but it's going to pop into people's feeds more and more. And as it pops into their feeds, they will think we are bigger than we are and hopefully want to be more involved. Like I said, to this end, we're doing the training stuff. Shankar's making training videos. We have Yes Cal training videos where it's like I'm doing how to set up a booth, what to look for. We're setting all of this up. We've dropped the manual. We've got things going out over. We've got things going on. Everything from stickers to talking about another larger run of T-shirts. The website is on its way. Hopefully within 2-3 weeks it'll be up and running. Prior to that being up and running, we had a casual discussion last night about the idea of an IC training YouTube channel.
Nice.
Hot. So until the website is up where we can do this officially, we will have a YouTube channel that we can direct everybody to, that will have the videos and hopefully, you know, the videos and the pictures in the library that will help everybody get moving forward.
Hot.
So again, like I said, let me apologize in advance. Let me apologize for my performance tonight. My head's not in that game. My head is just not in that game. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to. I'm trying to figure out the structure. I'm very nuts and bolts right now.
Hey, we all love you, Hal, and we think that you're providing great leadership. And I'm going to tell you something I told Jason. Stop apologizing. Let's just move forward.
I will apologize to my friends because and like Edwin, who this is my first time meeting. Hello, Edwin. It's a pleasure.
Sure.
On the boats that I've looked at, there are 3 people with the rank of captain. One is the skipper, the other is the XO, and the third is the engineer who commands half of the sailors anyway. You can see why the engineer has the rank of captain.
Oh no, I've already had that conversation with Marcus 3 times. He goes, Captain, she can't take much more of this.
I have to point out, Hal, that Jason Wright disagrees with you strongly. He thinks you're a great leader. He thinks you're providing good leadership. And he just made sure to because I already made the mistake of committing myself. I got to read everything the guy says. What is it? We love you, Hal. Yes, please train us. He's totally right. You know, I know it's a little tough, but I'm sorry, brother. You kind of fucked up. People view you as a leader. So
right up until the time when I'm done, hopefully.
Marcus, I'm jealous. Read mine too.
If I had to make a negative comment about it, it's the fact that I built this silly document. Notice the smiley face. That's from where Kristen corrected my spelling. I've done this, and we have. I would like, if we can, I want to make this a living document. This needs to desperately be a living document. Especially the part that is very critical is the frequently asked questions. Because this is what we're going to give to new people. Here you go. Here's your shirt. Here's your manual on how you're going to talk to people. Here's some stickers to give out. And if these talking points, and some of these are starting to look a little dated. I mean, I took out the one about, you know, Texas v. White. You know, it's the kind of thing where some of these are still very pertinent. Others aren't maybe up to date. This was written before we had a Californian vice presidential candidate.
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice on yours, it says 2020 edition Rev 0. We should be revving this about once every 3 months, at least.
He's right. He's right.
Because
Yeah,
if we're not, it's like we're basically going to be handing new people who are coming on board. You know, we're going to be putting bullets in their gun, talking point bullets in their gun that are not going to go off when they pull the trigger.
Squid.
And we've all been, anybody who's worked this, we've kind of all been there where somebody comes up and hits you with a point and you're like, I've got to look at that. You just lost. And not only did you lose the person in front of you, you lost the person behind them listening to that conversation. So that's where I'm at. We're doing, we have an extra month to do it. I wish we had 6. I wish we had 6. Bear with me. I am literally building as fast as I can.
We appreciate how you just tell them Scotty's line. I need more time, Captain.
Exactly. It's one of those.
Right.
Well, there's another lesson to that Star Trek too. That Star Trek reference. If you notice, Scotty always wore a red shirt, right?
He's an engineer.
At any one given time, the captain was never going to listen to him. Tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, so that's where I'm at on this stuff. It's like we're in pretty good shape. We've got approval on the stickers. Everybody's happy. I even got approval on the CFC or on IC manual from Steve Gonzalez. I like the manual.
Impressive. That's impressive.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm certainly impressed.
CFC is not unhappy with this or with this with the direction. So
folks, look at what he just said. He got Steve Gonzalez to bless a document. I can't even get Steve Gonzalez to talk to me. Hal's able to negotiate the guy to sign a doc.
Yeah.
So just recognize what Hal's able to pull off. This is why some of you come to me and go, Hal did this, Hal did that. And I go, Hal's able to talk to motherfuckers who don't respond to phone calls from me and get them to sign on to shit. What do you do? Just putting that out there. Y'all saw it.
No one disapproves of hardware. You know what I mean? This stuff is not the trick here right now. Is that this stuff is not opinion. We have brilliant people who speak well. What we need are 1,000 parrots. We need it's like 30 people who speak well are good. 1,000 parrots speaking the talking points of those 30 people are talking. I mean, you just created a Muppet show that's going to make this an independent country.
Right there. A Muppet show that will make a independent nation. Everybody heard that? That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Don't get it twisted. He's right. If we don't have basic truths out there, it's not going to happen. But we can do that.
We can. We have made a career in the California independence movement of punching above our weight.
Oh yeah.
We made a career out of this. I mean, Shankar will tell you, our reputation among other organizations that are 3 times our size is impressive. They all think we're vastly bigger and more capable than we are.
Mm-hmm.
For God's sake, let's not blow that illusion. Okay.
All right. Let me drop some positive news here.
Marcus,
yeah,
can I just go real quick, because it's a segue on what Hal said earlier, is that, and we talked about this, Marcus, we were realizing that many of us are so enthusiastic about the movement that we tend to take on way too much.
Oh yeah.
At one time, Hal is one example. Jason tends to do this. Joe tends to do this, and then you know, Marcus and I used to tend to do this, but we've learned to say no to things. So everybody's taking on. Sue's got Cascadia. Joe's got. He wants to do more personal videos. So I even got caught in that trap of you know, giving my time to those. And I realize now with the initiative, that's probably not a great idea. Better to focus on one thing. So Sue, I apologize if I can't spend as much time on that issue, but I think for us to concentrate on this initiative, if we can, unless you're a really good multitasker, which I'm not at all. It's really, Hal illustrates, and I've seen this with Joe and Jason and me even, we take on too many things because we want to help everybody else, but then we get overwhelmed and we do none of those things because we get too overwhelmed. So just say, I'm going to focus on this, like Hal just said, sorry, can't come on here, or I'll listen to you guys, but you know what? I'm there doing the mechanics down there.
Yeah.
That's what I have to focus on. I can't come up there. You guys go up there, and don't be apologetic about that. Learn to say no. Even in our own personal lives, we need to learn to say no, because it's really a bad thing. And then we're dishonest with that person, and we're dishonest with ourselves when we do that. Although it's a good intention, we all know what good intentions do a lot of times. So, so I just wanted to bring that up because Hal gave a perfect segue of something we talked about, you know, with Marcus. Just take on, you know, what you can chew. Don't stuff your mouth more than that. And we'll do better on this initiative. Now, everybody that has their own thing, if you can multitask, that's great. I can't do that. But if not, just concentrate. I think the initiative right now for all of us is probably one of the most important things we can back right now. After that, we can always come back to the things we kind of shelved somewhere else and go into that. That doesn't mean that they're completely gone, but I think right now the most important thing and what we've been talking about for months is this initiative. And so if we get, you know, distracted from that, all that we've done here is just, you know, it's been non-productive. So that's all I wanted to say on that. And Marcus, if you want to segue into like maybe taking a break before we come.
Yes, I had. Well, I had one comment to make, and then I wanted Hal to wrap up his thing for a few minutes, and then we're going to go to the speeches with Sue and Hannah. So let me make one comment. Hal finish up his comments, and then we'll go to the Sue speech and the Hannah speech, because I promised them. Jason, I will briefly introduce your topic, and then I will work with Jason to get a video out for everybody. So let me make 2 comments. We'll go to Hal, and then we'll wrap up the speeches. Thank you, everybody, for being here. So Hal is laying out the truth, honest, frank truth. He's right. Big issue. A lot of people going to have to get those people. And the only way we're going to do it is with building up troops who have really simple marching orders. Totally agree. That absolutely is the issue. Absolutely, we have to fix it. Here's a couple good things to know. 1, Joe Payne already has a Facebook group with 150 people, 156 people on it. He launched that 2 weeks ago. It's now bringing in new people we've never talked to before. Edwin is here on this conference call. Edwin came from that new Facebook. I've never met that guy before in my life. Been in this movement for 5 years. Edwin's known Theo as long as I have. First time we're talking. Why are we talking? Because Joe Payne made a new Facebook group and started bringing all sorts of new people in. I just talked to Marikai. I never met that dude. He's brand new, never been in the movement. So Payne is already just opened up a door and new people are coming in. There's 150 there. We can certainly reach into those people to make some chapters. Second thing, I'll tell you what I already told Hal Lord. Once IC has their website, and yes, Hal already has the webmaster working on it, and it has the guidebook, which Hal already has, and it says, hey, we're here to help you out with the initiatives, and it has a listing of the chapters, just 4 chapters, just 4, which I think Hal can get. So you have a website, and it says, here's 4 chapters, here's a guidebook, and here's training videos from Shankar. You get me a shiny website with a guidebook, which you have, training videos, which you'll have soon, and chapters, which you're already getting, just 4. I can email that out to 5,000 new people we've never met before. Yes, California has 3,400 brand new emails of people who've never been in the movement. That's 3,400, 3400. We've already paid our advertising for this month, and we plan to get that number to 5,600 new members. 5,600 new members you've never met before. And I am ready to tell them, if you want to help, you better join a chapter. But I can't do it until we have the website with the chapters on, and the training videos, and the guidebook. So here's the good news. Hal already has all those pans cooking. No, the dish ain't ready yet. Supper's not ready to be served, but Hal has Shankar cooking training videos. He's got a guidebook he just told you about cooking. He's got a webmaster making, so all the pieces are there. Supper's almost ready, not quite yet. Soon as he's ready to serve that hot dish on a nice website, I'll put that in front of 5,000 people, and I'll grow your 4 chapters into 20. But I can't do it till it's up. So what I need everybody here to do is help Hal get that nucleus ready. I didn't say it need to be big, but I said, obviously you just saw Hal lay out what we need to be doing so we can grow. He's got the right idea. I can grow that, but I can't help him get ready. Only you can. So I need you to listen to Hal. I need you to show up to those chapter meetings. I need you to do whatever he's asking for without question. And then I'll dump 5,000 new humans on it, and we'll get that bitch up to 30 chapters in a second. Okay? I'm going to stop there. Hal, a couple minutes from you, sir, and then Daniel's going to take us and lead us through the rest of the speeches.
Thank you, Marcus, for that. Yeah. This is for better or worse. Anything political is a numbers game. To say differently is sugarcoating. We must shoot to attempt 650,000 signatures. Later, maybe we can talk about what happens if and when we fall short. But that's the number, 650,000. That requires structure. The structure that we're building is simple and relatively small based on the individual. Really comes down to silly things like t-shirts and cardboard with paper clips. It comes down to pens and standing in front of a grocery store or going to an event or collecting signatures online. Can't believe what people will do for, a sticker. I voted.
Mm-hmm.
We have 1,000 of those already. That's kind
I
of,
signed.
yes, no, it's I voted. Yes, not sticker. What we have in this movement across the movement. And it's something that I've seen all around, and it's not to point fingers. I've seen a lot of people who are willing to argue on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
and not a lot of people are willing to expend their shoe leather. And that's what we need. That's what we need to change. We need to focus. We need to focus on finding those people. They don't have to be. They don't have to be intellectuals, and they don't have to. They have to basically be willing to stand there with a piece of cardboard and collect signatures. We want believers. You know, it's like we don't need them to do everything we need without question. We just need them to help us get this done. We need them to help us get this done. Everybody here, if you are a chapter of 1, I understand. But if you can point me to somebody else who's a friend who might be willing to build a chapter of 10, I take that too. I tell you now, in the building of this thing, I'm not proud. Got no pride. We need the people. It's like my pride will be in success, not in accolades. That's what. So I need. It's like Wednesday nights. We're having our chapter leads meetings. If you can put together, I've said this before, I'll say it and I will keep saying it. Just you and a couple of friends, whether they're your brother or somebody you've just met, to be able to go collect signatures, it's good to have someone watching your back. This will, and it doesn't matter whether you're big or small, a chapter 1 person. We need to up what people see. They need to see us. If we're out there at the grocery store, just one person in that t-shirt collecting that signature and 50 people go by. Yeah, Jason, you look beautiful. 50 people go by. Maybe one of those people go, I've been looking for you for a while now, and now you got a signature and you hand them a business card or a slip of paper with your phone number. That's what we need. It's like, it's like I said, I got no pride here. We need to get those people. We need to up those numbers. The website's on its way. This Facebook, it's like we will look to the to YouTube, and then to get for the training videos. I'm going to use every training video that I think has merit. That includes the old Yes Cal ones or the ones being made. I don't care who made them. And we're going to move forward. Help me get this done. Please. Come hit me up. If you don't have time for the chapter meeting, come hit me up first. I'll give you I'll drop my phone number. Call me personally. Call me up.
Hey, I just wanted to say real quick, when you're out there getting signatures, wearing one of these like little green sleeves, they're only like $7 at Amazon. It's a great way to be seen really quick. Everybody's gonna see who you are. They're gonna think you're like in charge. So I'm wearing this one right here just to show you guys. But that's it. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Al.
No, it's great. That's great. Like I said, it's like this is all going to be about getting our brand out there. We get our brand. We get the California independence movement. I don't care whether you're in a Yes Cal t-shirt, IC t-shirt. I don't care if you're wearing one that says, California surfers rule, as long as you're up there getting it going. That's where we need to be. That's where I'm at right now.